Okay, it is 6 p.m. This is Tuesday, September 6th, 2016, and this is the regular village board meeting of the village of Pulaski held at 585 East Glenbrook Drive. Could I have roll call and pledge, please?
Bruce Birchkuski.
Here.
Roger Birchkuski.
Present.
Robert Gajewski.
Here.
Doug Prentice.
Present.
Chris Smith. Here. Robert Van Lanner.
Here.
And Reed Woodward.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 2, can I approve the agenda as presented and to include the amended agenda item 8A?
So moved.
By Doug. Second by Bob Gajewski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting of August 1st, 2016, and the special board meeting of August 22nd, 2016, and dispense with the reading.
So moved.
By Chris.
Second.
Second by Bruce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 4, persons to be heard. Persons to be heard. Third time persons to be heard. There be none. Item number 5, committee reports. Ad hoc committee, Parks Committee met on August 8th, and Doug, you want to highlight that?
Yeah, we saw some interest from the youth soccer program. They're growing like wildfire. I know they've got over 800 kids involved, and they're a little bit cramped on the space behind the middle school, so they wanted to see what kind of facilities that we had, mainly at Community Park. So I'm thinking we'll hear a little bit more from them. They'd also like to host a big event, the Anthony Litt Soccer Tournament. They'd like to see that come to Pulaski since he was a big part of our soccer program. So they were just getting a few ideas together and possibility of sliding some fields around and different things like that. Regarding our baseball fields at Memorial Park, the clubs between the softball and the baseball raised enough money where they're going to be able to do all the work that needs to be done on Field B, which is the closest one to the Reds diamond. And then the next one over, C, they're going to start on a few items. So they were very happy with the money they raised over the seasons, and so our money is going to go a little bit further that we are allowing on the fields. We had discussion about the natural resources we have within the village. There were a couple teachers that use our Glen Brook, as well as the fields and trees and everything behind the middle school, as well as our community park for getting the students out of the classroom, get them involved with nature and digging bugs and frogs and everything else. So they were real happy with the resources and the natural resources that we allow to exist in our community. With that discussion also came a discussion of the Fragmite that we have mainly surrounding the pickle ponds back at Community Park. And I'm thinking we're going to have many more of these discussions. How do you contain it to keep it from spreading? The problem with the Fragmite is it overtakes an area and kind of kills off any of the bugs, trees, plants, everything around it. It kind of takes hold of that whole environment. So we had a pretty good discussion on that. I think that's pretty much it. The minutes are also in the left on your table there. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Municipal Board of Canvassers, August 15th, 2016, Karen.
That was a meeting with Cheryl Dorn, myself, and Lorraine Pasevich. And we had one late arriving absentee ballot that it was postmarked before that came with August 9th, it was postmarked, so that could be counted. So we had that one ballot, so that changed it from Brown County, we had 318 votes. And Shawano County, we had 8, so that came to 326. We had totals with both counties, so that was good. So now getting ready for the November 8th election, and I have 1,700 ballots ordered for Brown County and 150 for Shawano County. So I think it's gonna be really close. That's gonna be a good turnout with the election. And the way the rules are changing, it's keeping me very busy.
Thank you, Karen. The Economic Development Ad Hoc Committee is August 15th, 2016. Chris?
Yeah, we had a meeting on the 15th, and we had discussion in regards to the North Business Park, the potential or pending opportunities that we have there, but won't know till sometime later this year or next year. The Franciscan building was also on discussion. Getting closer to hopefully getting that as part of our development downtown. They have an approximate cost of $750,000 for that, for the library portion of that. There'll have to be some discussion on local support in the future to fill some of that financing gap. I do know that Brown County is still working on allotting some money to Pulaski's library, so we'll have to look forward to that in the future. Then the Red Raiders Stadium, the Field of Dreams. Hope you all were there on Friday. It was phenomenal, that celebration. That's exciting for the economic impact that's going to have on our community, school district, and our village, or the community, I should say. And then we talked about some of the facades that are being worked on with Smava Bakery, and there was discussion on maybe some restaurant recruitment for downtown. Maybe that'll be a reality at some point. And then there was a little bit of discussion on maybe having a commercial certified kitchen in the Country Building along with the library. We'll see how that all goes. We also discussed scheduling our meetings every other month or bi-monthly versus on a monthly basis. So the next meeting is October 17th at noon.
Thank you, Liz. You're welcome. Next is the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of August 17th, 2016. Out of that, there were 2 items that were acted on. A was to consider approve the certified survey map for parcel BP 40-1, a total of 7.72 total acres, owner Marquis Yachts, 790 Market Drive, Pulaski, applicant Dennis Ream, Robert E. Lee and Associates, 1259 Centennial Center Boulevard, and the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of that certified survey map. That's later on. Nope. Okay, we would need a vote to accept or approve the certified survey map for the Carver property.
What are they doing with that again?
They're selling it to...
They're selling it, so there's,
Yeah.
okay.
It's going to be a contractor of some kind
Okay.
that are local.
Yep.
So,
I'll make that motion.
okay, by Bruce. I'll second that. Second by Raj. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number B is informational only, recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission to consider approve the proposed mobile tower regulations ordinance. This will bring us into compliance as per legislature dictates from the last 2 sessions. And a public hearing will be scheduled for the regular board meeting held on October 3rd, and you will vote on that quite lengthy ordinance on November 3rd, October 3rd. Board member. Next is NEW Paramedic Rescue.
Yeah, we had a meeting on August 22nd, and I looked at the minutes, and I don't know why, but they're back from maybe June.
Yep, and I first got those, I didn't get,
You didn't get it? But anyway, we had it on August 22nd, and then they informed that Olson Oil is done with the furnace and the air conditioner, it's all in and running. And they had 39 calls in the month of June, with 15 for the village, 50 in July, with 25 for the village. And then there was a discussion on polka days, and was really slow for polka days, which was surprising, that they didn't do much. So then we talked about the budgeting, because that's coming up, and then it's coming, I don't know what they're gonna do, but they said we're gonna have to start a fund for refurbishing our funding there, because we're just about done now that they paid for the furnace and everything, all our reserves are, and they're talking about possibly $3,000 per community per year. Because right now, if they to buy an ambulance, would be approximately $150,000 to $180,000 for a new one.
Right.
And then there was a discussion on the flagpole. The flag got all torn to pieces of one of the winds and got wrapped around the rope. So Jim Pulaski and myself, we went and got that fixed. The neighbor was complaining the light from the flag was shining in his bedroom. So they were gonna talk to the fire department about, because they got nothing to go up there, and then I guess they found a light that you fasten onto the pole.
Right.
And shines up on it.
Just go straight up. Yeah.
So they aren't gonna do nothing with that. The next discussion was, I don't know, they said the smoke alarm system, they're over 30 years old in there, and nobody will guarantee them that they're working anymore.
Right.
So they said we should start checking on possibly replacing that smoke alarm system in the building. They said because we got people sleeping there, is what we should check in. So they're gonna check on pricing for smoke alarm systems. And our next meeting is gonna be the 26th of September. They said it was early, but we want a rough draft of the budget for next year. That was it for us.
Are they looking for a new ambulance coming up? They got the replacement?
No, because we just bought that one a year ago.
Oh, okay.
They said it should be good for another 8 years. If you put $3,000 in each one, in 10 years, we'll have enough to pay for it.
Okay.
If you don't touch it. If you don't touch that fund at all, but.
Okay.
So that was your funding that you're talking about, 3,000 out of each municipality?
Right.
Basically, or,
Yeah, you get 18,000 a year, 10 years, you get 180,000 built up.
yeah,
But they're talking, they has to do some painting and some more major work on the building or something, it'll go fast.
Definitely needs a facelift.
It needs a painting pretty quick.
Okay, thank you, Bob.
As of the end of, and I can get my months date here, July, because this was August meeting, we got a little over $12,000 in reserve now that we're to the black, so if it keeps going, we'll get a fairly good refund out of it.
Nice. Okay, thanks, Bob. The committee of the whole on August 22nd, there was really no action necessary by this board.
we did it at the,
We did it at the special board meeting. That was all the CDA-related activity. Fire Department Board of Directors, I think the report was included in your package. And the department seems to be functioning very smoothly. Going to start budgeting with our September meeting, and October you can plan on having at least 2 budget meetings for the village. But the kicker is the one thing that we don't know is the insurance, and we probably won't get a hard figure till near the end of October. That's just the nature of the beast. I'm praying it doesn't go up like it has in the past, but you know, difficult to go over that. Next, number 6 is
I'd just like to make one comment about the report from the fire department. It was a very excellent report in the last page, just listing the vehicles they have in.
Right, that was something that everybody, you know, needs to understand, because, you know, you gotta plan way ahead to replace this equipment.
Right, so
Yep.
as a board, we appreciate this.
And that's why I made sure to include that as part of it, because, you know, they've got quite a few old vehicles that probably are near or beyond life expectancy already.
Yeah.
So thank you. Number 6, payment request, Robert E. Lee Associates, invoice 70948, miscellaneous, the amount of $520. 7949, CNON preparation, $89.75. Invoice 7950, corporate way lift station upgrade, amount of $7,331.50. Invoice 70951, police station addition, an amount of $3,830.33. Invoice 70952, community park pavilion, an amount of $543.50. And invoice 70953, sewer and water main extension for Bellin Health, $334.50.
I'll make a motion to approve.
By Doug,
Second.
second by Bob Manlana. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 7, payment request partial. Number 1 for PTS contractors in the amount of $178,322.49. Paul?
This payment request basically covers the cost to install the wet well, the big 30-foot deep hole in the ground, concrete hole in the ground. That's all that this is at this point. It's got nothing to do with any of the poured concrete or the site or anything like that. So it's in the ground, they should be paid for it.
Okay. Are they behind schedule or on schedule?
Oh, I think that they're a little behind schedule. It hasn't gone smoothly. A lot of high ground water and such, so.
Yeah, it looked like they were pumping nonstop.
They were.
All right.
Motion.
Could I have a motion to,
I'll make that motion.
by Bruce to pay the invoice?
I'll
Second by
second.
Bob Gieske. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next is item 8A, consider approved payment request of L.W. Allen LLC, the amount of $35,333. Invoice 101-581, corporate way lift station replacement. It's the 2016 TIF 2, as per Paul Walter of Robert E. Lee Associates.
It is 8A, not 8, so.
It's 8A.
8A, yeah.
Okay, 8A is the control panel for the lift station. Purchasing that's a direct purchase by the village. And that's just the cost for it, so that can be installed, once the floor is slabbed over there. Oh, the floor slab is poured over there.
That's okay.
Thank you. I made a mistake. I jumped to 8B and didn't do 8. So, we have a motion in a second
So move on that.
by Roger.
I'll second it.
Doug in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we go back to number 8. Payment request L.W. Allen Incorporated. $163,193 corporate lift station TIF number 2.
And this one is, again, a direct purchase item. It's the building, the prefab building. I think Yeah, the piping is included in that, a lot of the piping is included in that.
Yes,
Is the generator included in this?
I believe so. The only thing I'm unsure of would be the submersible pumps in that hatch. If there might be billing on that, but I think this
Okay.
covered most of, the package deal total was.
Yeah, but this is a partial bill on that too. I think the
Yeah.
overall deal was about, 100 or 300 and some thousand dollars. But this covers the structure itself and setting the structure. Which by the way is probably gonna happen sometime in is the tentative schedule.
So Paul,
And
this,
weather.
this 377, 275 that we've got for the whole project, right?
Yep.
And these are the pieces that are fitting into it.
These are not part of that
Yeah,
cost.
separate from this.
Separate from that cost.
Mm. With each of these, well, 8, the 163, 193, did I hear they're holding back 5%? Or is there any holdback, or is this just a partial bill?
There's usually a 5%.
On the 178 here?
The 163, 193?
No, because that's a
Item number
direct
8.
purchase item.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
That's basically a deposit on the overall.
This is
cost
the
of
building and the pipes and the generator?
Right.
The mechanical.
Okay.
That is the direct purchase through LWL, and the 178 is part of the 377 proposal from PTS, and that is the concrete, the earthwork, and the
The
installation.
installation, right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And just to board, to bring back up to speed, this was part of a bid package that was surprising, way more than we projected. 750,000 total, I believe, was all the bids. And land acquisition.
For that one?
Yes.
It was at the August 22nd special board with
We,
the borrowing resolution.
And we had, taken into effect, all of this infrastructure that was necessary. But when it came in so high over budget, we had to react to it. To rebid it wasn't gonna help.
And then with the 750,000, we included Carl Bowers with that water and sewer coming in from Mellon Health. That was figured in with that $750,000 too for the borrowing.
For the borrowing, yeah.
And those bills, we didn't get anything yet from Carl
I haven't
Bowers.
seen a thing from them yet.
Okay.
I need a,
I'll make a motion to approve.
Doug,
I'll second.
second by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 9. Payment request of Banner Electric Incorporated for $9,900. This is cabling install, the Pulaski Village Hall and the new police department. And this was done outside of the construction bid because we felt we could save considerable amount of money. And basically what we've done is rewired all of the computer on this side and that side with new wire, and we removed just an unbelievable amount of cabling that's been left by former businesses. And we have sensors on the doors now with fobs, so we can track access to the building. And that it also included the security cameras in the hallways and throughout the police department. So we got an awful lot. If we did try to do this on a contracted thing, we could probably multiply this times 4. And Joanne, said, hey, we just did this at high school, let's do it and save some money. So this will be part of the police department construction.
I'll make a motion to approve.
By Roger, Second. Second by Bob Pulaski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. 10, finalize the tax increment district development agreement between the CDA, between the Village of Pulaski, the Village of Pulaski Community Development Authority, and Mountain Bay Incorporated, TIF number 4. The CDA will be meeting right after this meeting to finalize, to solicit the borrowing of funds. And
I didn't include anything in there, I don't know where Bill is.
Bill sent me a text, he's got a hostage situation going on in his neighborhood, he locked him in. So, he said he'll get here as soon as the roads are opened up again, but everything's blocked up right now.
Do you want to wait until he gets here?
can we wait? Can we postpone this one? Sure.
Still in this meeting yet until he gets here? Okay.
All right, so we're gonna postpone this and move on to number 11. Consider approved temporary Class B malt beverage license of KFC Council 4439, Saturday, September 24th at Pulaski Community Park, the KC Steak Fry.
So moved.
Motion by Bruce,
I'll second it.
second by Roger. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 12, consider to approve the temporary Class B malt beverage license application. Tri-County Optimists, the 11th annual show-off for Reason Car Show to be held Sunday, September 18th, 2016 at the Veterans Memorial Park, ball fields and concession stand. This is an annual event, and I believe they ask that we waive the fee.
That's coming on number 14.
Okay, all right. Okay, a motion to approve
So moved.
by Doug, second by Bob. Kieski, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 13, consider to approve the outdoor entertainment license application, Tri-County Optimist, 11th annual show and off for a Reason Car Show, Sunday, September 18th at Veterans Memorial Park, ball fields and concession stand.
So moved.
By Bob Van Leonard,
Second.
second by Chris Smith, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 14, consider to approve the special event permit application for Tri-County Optimist for 11th annual show and off for a Reason Car Show, Sunday, September 18th at Veterans Memorial Park, and there has been a request to waive, for the village to waive the fee.
So move on that.
By Roger,
Second.
second by Bruce. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 15, to consider and approve bartender license application ending June 30th, 2018.
We have none.
We have none. Okay. Item number 16, discussion of removal of old shelter house building at Veterans Memorial Park and the construction of the proposed new shelter house building. And we you received, when you came in tonight, a letter to me and the village board from the Ron Krieger family. I'm writing on behalf of the Ron Krieger family. My father, Ron Krieger, was the village president and village board member for many years. During his tenure as village president, one of the most important issues to him was to develop Pulaski as a place that was safe, friendly, and fun for families. One of his passions was to develop the parks and recreation areas in Pulaski. Pulaski remains highly respected for its parks and baseball diamonds and sport facilities for children and families. Since his death, we have communicated with Mr. Woodward our interest in a new shelter house to enhance Memorial Park. We feel that this is a great need in the Pulaski community and would greatly improve opportunities and usage of Memorial Park. As a family, we were able to enjoy and benefit from a great summer parks program. And as a family with 6 generations of history in Pulaski, we would like the park to remain vibrant remain a vibrant focal point for the village for generations to come. The Krieger family would give a lead gift to financially support the building of the new Memorial Park Shelter House. We have often been asked how best to honor our father's memory and commitment to Pulaski, and we feel a naming opportunity for a new shelter would be the best way to recognize his service. And they're indicating they're willing to give us a significant amount of money towards getting the shelter done. And that's what prompts this. Having learned from the bidding process, trying to get the bathrooms done, our crew doesn't start picking up leaves for, until about the middle of October.
Yep.
And so that would be, the end of September would be the perfect time to have them demolish the old shelter, because literally it's got lead paint issues, it's got issues upon issues. There's really nothing.
Seen better days.
Nothing to save. In fact, we'll have to probably water down so the lead paint doesn't get vaporized. Is that the right way of saying it?
Keep the dust down.
Okay.
We'll set up a sprinkler system.
And, we don't have to bid this if the crew does it, because we can keep the costs down quite low. And with that, I think it's time for us to put out bids for construction beginning, like, you can begin like October 15th, and you have a completion date of December 15th. And if you've that kind of a, window for the construction to happen, I think we should get some pretty competitive bids.
Do we have some plans already made up or of the building, or what it would look like?
Well,
Or anything started on it?
all we need is the copy, part of what was originally part of the Knights of Columbus building, with the warming kitchen and the bathrooms. The rest of it's going to be open space, so,
Okay.
but we want it to be an attractive looking facility. It's up to this board how they want to proceed,
We have some money slated from the Packer tax.
We've got 39,000 that we set aside over the previous years, and we did said we would use that necessary funds from the Packers to make sure that gets built. And with an additional donation from the Krieger family, I'm sure we can get her done and build something decent and have it ready for the spring.
And when are the bookings done?
September 30th.
Yeah, the
That's
last one that's reserved is September 30th.
And I don't think, is it the 30th, or
I think it's
close to that
the
date?
24th, I believe, is the actual last one booked.
Okay.
Good.
And I just, as a precaution, I said to Mary Ann not to book anything after that date without consulting with me. Because, the window is not a sliding window, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, we're pretty sure can we get everything done within these 15 days,
So the building would be just a spring, summer, fall,
Correct.
and
Will
no
not be
winter.
year-round.
Not be
Just
year-round.
that, just brings all kinds of costs.
So it'll be the same size as the Knights of
It'd
Columbus?
be a little larger.
The Knights of Columbus?
Oh,
building?
no, larger than what's there. The exec can hold, about 75 people? You probably want to raise it to 100.
Yeah, 75 might be kind of tight in that space already.
So do we need a motion? With these
I would
bidding
like,
and everything?
I would like a motion to allow the crew to remove the thing, and then to I guess, prepare documents to bid for a new shelter.
Is something like the Parks Committee involved in also, the ideas, or?
They'll be working with whoever, is ultimately gonna do the design. And, yeah, it'll go through the parks, then to here, then to the board.
Okay.
And we got to make sure that the Krieger family is at the table
Right.
when the decisions are made.
Is that gonna be with Paul from Robert Lee to start the process? That takes a while too with the bidding.
Well,
Is that what you're doing?
we've got to build it. We've got to have state-approved plans.
You're talking this date, October 15th?
Yeah.
That was my thought. I thought it'd be pushing a little bit to get that done in that timeframe.
Contractors are still very busy. And I'm sure it's gonna run into the winter months.
Well,
Do we have to bid it? Do we get our local guys just to build it?
It's over $25,000, it has to be bid.
yeah, it has to be bid if it's over 25. But, we got to do it properly. We got to make sure that the state is, basically, we need state-approved plans to build. And, you'd want to have state-approved plans so that all the ADA and all that stuff is met, so.
Is it possible to?
I think it's possible to just say, hey, we want to build a shelter and, give us a design and a quote.
This is the area that we're looking price-wise? Best plan and cost wins it?
Right.
We're talking about a design build there.
Right.
And I think that, I need to confirm this, but I think your best bet may be to, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can just contact a handful of contractors and ask for a design build cost. That's not really a publicly advertised. You can put an ad out to say design build, I believe, and then have them, and that's probably going to be your most economical way to go.
That's what I was hoping that we could try to do.
I'm going to do some checking tomorrow morning, first thing, on what can be done in that manner. I think that that's probably the way you'd be best served and can be done legally that way.
Yeah.
But you basically have to put it out for all firms to design build it. And might be your best route.
Yeah.
Is it possible either tear it down and just put the foundation and stuff in and then finish you early next spring?
Certainly, that could be done too.
How early do our bookings start? Generally?
It's like when you have to.
It's weather permitting, but
Yeah,
I would
usually
say
don't
May.
open them up before May 15th,
I
right?
was gonna say, you hate to rush through it and not do it.
Well, I think if we did, a design build, kind of an ad, I think we're gonna get what we want at a more reasonable cost. That's just my opinion. In today's world, you're talking $85 to $100 a square foot is kind of like the norm.
Going right now.
You can't build a house for $35 a square foot anymore.
I have one question in regards to this now. Bob mentioned about local contractors, and Paul mentioned if it's 25,000 or over, we have to go state approved, whatever. Couldn't we just put up a partial building, say the floor, slab, and the roof, and then in spring, get a permit to continue on or whatever?
No, they won't, because you can't do some things over, like over a 3-year period.
Oh, 3-year period, okay. I was thinking of 2016 and then 2017.
The state is taking care of that, saying,
Doesn't that get included in the price? I mean, included in that 25,000 if we do the work for the slab or whatever?
It's the amount that would be bid, Chris. It's the amount that you would pay an outside contractor, an outside vendor provide. If that amount exceeds $25,000, in other words, if the aggregate you would bid outside of your own forces.
Okay.
So, concrete work, electrical work, plumbing, anything, if that total exceeds $25,000, it has to be a public bid.
Okay.
I wish they would raise that ceiling. But
well, they were going to, and then went wrong.
Would that be pushing the envelope to get it done by October 15th as far as getting plans and?
I'm gonna tell you it's impossible, I think. I really do. Now, I'm not in the design-build business, so maybe I'm wrong, okay? We could help you put together an ad for that. And I've never done design-build, so I just don't know the answers here. I'm sure we can help you put together an ad for that, to get it out and solicit those bids. How fast Cleary Building or Bayland Building or somebody could put it together and get it up and running, I guess I don't know the answer to that, Bruce.
Okay.
But it just seems like an awful push.
That kind of was my thought of, get some plans ready and do it in spring and make sure you have it done the right way.
Well, all of that stuff is kind of fluid. You want that thing open for business the middle of May, period.
Reed, I would suggest to you that if you can, do the ad, solicit those bids, give as wide a window as you can for completion. It's going to get you the best price, and if they decide they want to pour concrete in winter and cover it, heat it, whatever, but they're going to have the ability to do that because they'll have the crews available in February or whatever. That's to your benefit. Maybe give an end of April or middle of April completion date or something like that. I think it's going to work to your benefit.
I don't know if I'm tearing it down, it's a great idea to get rid of it.
Yeah, sooner the better. A couple of trucks in 2 days and I think it's gone.
There will be a little cost with, taking it into the
Fire practice.
The only other thing I gotta read, it's hard to bring it up, it's too bad. Are we gonna get a commitment from the Krieger family, how many dollars they're gonna put in this?
Yeah.
So you don't start building and then all of a sudden, we're done now, you finish it.
Right. We'll need some numbers before you.
We'll have hard.
It's gonna be hard to ask them, but still, you should know what dollars they're gonna put into it.
I can understand why they're kind of vague about the amount here, but, in face-to-face talk, that they are talking of, substantial.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, they're substantial in hours, it could be quite a bit of difference between what our cost is out there.
I think once you get those numbers set, you can kind of move forward with it.
So do you need a motion to approve?
Tear down?
Yeah, that's the only thing that we can't start building unless we build it. So,
Did you want to authorize Robert E. Lee to look into that with the, help with the ad for the design build? Did you want to go ahead with that already, or no?
I think we
Just the tear
I
down?
think that's a good idea.
I was going to do it anyway, so.
This way we'll have it documented.
So I'll make a motion to tear down the old one, have village people tear down the old one, and to have Robert E. Lee begin the process for getting the ad for the
doing the
design
design build concept.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you all. I want to try this design build. I didn't have the right term, but that's what it is. Because I think we can save serious money by doing it that way. safe service. Item number 17, the property listing Old Village Hall Police Department at 421 South St. Augustine, Country Pride Realty. They asked that we would consider reducing the price from $89,000 to $79,000. Now that most of the stuff has been destroyed or moved, it's not a really attractive looking building. You know, all the needs now speak out loudly. Like the carpets are pretty well worn beyond probably everything in the building has to be replaced.
What were our previous offers?
None.
Got up to that point, and just never put a number to it.
Never put a number to it. We did have somebody that was sincerely interested in buying it and converting it into a home. And they felt enough money, you know, to be able to buy it and then, you know, remodel it. But the bank says, no, we won't touch it.
I talked to a local contractor yesterday about the building, and he had kind of gone through it, and he said it would be worth it if you could get it for around 50. That was his number. The time you stick the money in to redo it, to how it should be.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it is what it is, and, you know, and I can't get past how in the world do you deal with that safe?
Yeah.
I don't know how much it costs to have that thing removed, but I think it'd be pretty,
That parcel's still zoned commercial, correct?
yeah, actually institutional, which would convert to commercial.
Either one, okay.
And because, you know, you've got institutional all around it, you know, commercial wouldn't be a problem, going commercial.
Yeah.
And actually going residential wouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Knowing that the banks won't borrow for that kind of a conversion.
My personal opinion, you're gonna have a hard time getting 79,000 for that place.
Well, exactly, that's the,
I would like nothing better than just to have it back on the tax rolls in some shape or form.
yeah.
And, you know,
recommend.
The longer a business sits vacant, the building is vacant, the harder it is to keep up.
I would recommend that you reduce it to the 79.9. The fact that there's been not very many showings, there's absolutely no offers,
Right.
you know, at least 79.9.
How about just going best offer, Chris? Would that be, generate some interest?
I would certainly put a price on it.
Maybe you'd get some bidding process
Awesome
then.
job of selling this.
I don't know. You know, you might, but I don't know in this market that, you know, the bidding part of it, not so much. I just think you just reduce your price and
Right.
you're gonna attract some activity, so.
Yep. I'll second that motion, Chris.
79.9, reduced to 79.9. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 18, to consider to authorize and approve the facade loan program for Smirava's Bakery at 204 East Pulaski Street, Wisconsin. Because under the rules of the TIF, the Smirava's is within the legal distance to be considered as a TIF eligible program. And they want to do upgrade of the facade, you know, the front of the building specifically. And they're requesting a grant and loan program from the village to make significant improvements to the dairy. And the total project cost is $31,000 $31,100, the village grant, that 10%, that, if you remember back, that's that rent money that we retained and said, let's do that to help the businesses downtown improve their projects. And then the village loan fund is, and I don't understand that. We did it with Van Aston, and it was a lot of paperwork, but, you know, it's worked well. The money financed through the village loan fund would be $24,880, and the 1.5 interest, and what they do is there's a balloon payment at the end of 7 years, which actually pushes them to either pay off the loan or
Finance
finance
themselves.
themselves.
So it's actually a 7-year.
Can we use that money that we got from the tax, for Packer for this or not?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
But there's the economic development, but
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any left.
Yeah.
What we do have left, we'll probably use it for the Memorial Park Shelter House.
And we talked about some funds in there, yeah.
But my answer is I'm not sure. It could possibly fit under that because it is economic development related.
As well as tourist related for this specific.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Well, this is actually in that TIF 3
Yeah, if
program,
it's in
it's
a
TIF
TIF
3, so I don't think so.
Maybe we can't use it.
I don't know that we would want to use that money in a TIF program, would we?
Because of the tractor rates and stuff, yeah.
Reed,
Yes, sir.
I think this gentleman wanted to make a
Oh,
comment.
it could go, it could be as economic development, so you could use it, but you're right, if it's a TIF, that's not something you'd want to do, in my opinion. I worked with Green Bay Economic Development, and they had some of those issues as well, so I think, Karen, you're right.
It would be a Kristen question, but I
Right.
think under TIF 3, because I know there's a lot of paperwork.
I misspoke. It wasn't TIF 2, it was TIF 3. I've been dealing with a lot of TIF.
I'll make a motion to approve, just as it stands here, the grant of $31,10 and the financing of $24,880.
I'll second that.
By Doug, second by Bruce. And I'm going to ask for a roll call on this.
Bruce Birchkowski?
Yes.
Roger Birchkowski?
Yes.
Robert Gieske?
Yes.
Doug Prentice?
Yes.
Chris Smith? Yes. Robert Van Lennon?
Yes.
And Reed Woodward?
Yes.
That's all yes.
And number 19, again, we're finally getting some movement downtown. Consider approving a facade grant program for Pulaski Auto Parts, 134 West Pulaski Street. I met with Larry Smith, and Bumper to Bumper has agreed to give the whole front of the building a facelift, including the side of the building. And under this, they're not requesting financing, but they are requesting the matching grant of 10% from what the total cost would be is $36,750. So the village 10% match would be $3,675.
I'll make the motion to approve the $36.75.
I'll second that.
Second by Roger. Again, a roll call vote.
Roger Birchkowski?
Yes.
Bruce Birchkowski?
Yes.
Robert Gieske?
Yes.
Doug Prentice?
Yes.
Chris Smith?
Abstain.
Robert Van Lennon?
Yes.
And Reed Woodward?
Yes. Thank you all. Item number 20, persons desiring to be heard. Persons desiring to be heard.
Suppose I
Could I have motion to open the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Todd, second by Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Mark?
How's it going, guys? Yeah, it's good to see you all again. Updates, one of the, obviously it's budget time, and Troy is looking to do some creative things with this year's budget. And not everything I agree with, he's looking to raise the not the levy, but the overall, or not the rate, but the levy would be going up by $2 million, which I don't quite agree with. The tax rate is going to stay the same, obviously, home values and such increased it a little bit. The interesting thing is about that is I had lunch with Troy a few weeks ago, and I told him that I would not be supporting his budget. But I said we do have a little library issue that we would like to work on here, and I said we could work on some different things and get to an agreement if we maybe are able to set some money aside for the Pulaski Library. So I have a commitment from the county executive that they will be putting in $300,000 towards the Pulaski Library in this year's budget, which is really good. It's important to do that this year because I don't know if you've seen in the papers that they're going to have a huge renovation of the downtown branch, and that'll be put into the 2017 budget. So that's why it's important to get that done this year, because all of the money, all the funds, all the attention is going to be sucked up next year. So then the Pulaski, update and renovation will be pushed over for another couple of years. So what Director Simons of the Brown County Library System is saying is that we could put $300,000 in now, and then hopefully start a fundraising campaign to raise the rest. It would be another, couple $100,000 that we would have to raise in order to get that done, but that's something that they have connections to raise money for the community, and obviously we can do that here as well, but it gives us a good step forward in that. So my job now is to go to the library board, because it's different how the library board is set up. The county would appropriate the funds, and then the library board would approve it. They're kind of an autonomous entity. We don't tell them what to do, but we can say, here's your money for this, and they'll say, okay, sounds good, and they approve it on their own. So it's a very different organizational structure. So that's going on. I think we're kind of past some of the shenanigans that with the lawyer that left and all that stuff blew up. So now we can kind of focus on actually getting things done. So here at home, that's the big news, is that we do have the commitment from the county executive to put quite a bit of money towards the Pulaski Library. And so anything that I can do for you guys, please let me know. And we'll work together.
Thanks, Mark.
Nice job.
One question, Mark, with that, do we have to make a commitment as to what we'd be doing with that money? A time frame or?
The time frame is still, as to what the developers or what, I don't know who they're going to contract it with, but, the time frame is construction possibly in 2017. The political things with it, with next year and all the money that's going to be going to the library, when I sat down with Brian Simons, I said, this is important that if we're going to do this, we need to do it now, in terms of money. So if the county is going to be putting money towards Pulaski, we need to do it this year, because next year, everything's going to be downtown. And then the year after that, the Brown County East Branch, which is kind of by Walmart, in that little strip mall, by China Buffet on Main Street and all that, that's the next one in line. So there's two big items that they're going to be looking at on the library perspective. So my goal is to get money now in this year's budget.
Okay.
I had a little bit of leverage because I told Troy that I would not be supporting his budget. So sometimes you can use that. So that's, the goal was to get the funding this year as we continue to research and figure out the logistics of it.
Okay.
that was what we did.
So you could say you're pretty positive that we will get that then?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Should
Make a motion to close the floor?
second, Doug, second by Chris, all in favor? Thank you. Department reports, Public Works?
The only thing I have is a reminder that all big garbage items, you need to call Harders to make a special pickup, noticing a lot of couches and stuff like that on the curb. So, just a reminder.
Thank you. Sewer and water,
I have nothing tonight, Reed.
police, Mark?
We've had a pretty busy month that we've had, and I did assume responsibility of the vehicles involved in the fatal, and to give the board a little bit of an idea of what transpires here. Because it's a fatal accident, they become our property until the case is resolved. We built that section for the police department, and now we have 2 vehicles in there. And they will remain in there until the case is closed. Now, what happens is, you'll send in all your blood stuff for toxicologies, but it'll take 6 weeks to 8 weeks to get toxicologies back. Then I'll go to the district attorney for review, and proceedings, appeals, if there is anything that's going to be appealed. You're looking at probably a minimum of 6 months. And just kind of bring you up to speed that now we are already using it, and there's nothing I can do about it, it's just space being used. I have a couple glitches with the new building that we're working through. We got the air conditioner running finally, that we had an issue with right from the get-go. We have some other small things that we're still coming up with, and Paul's got an ongoing list, and that'll continue on until we finalize and everything. But other than that, I don't have anything other than that tonight.
Mark, I have a question on those vehicles, they're being stored here now.
Correct.
If we didn't have this new building, where would they be stored?
At a facility that we'd pay for.
Secured
By
someplace.
the date, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So if we had another case, same situation.
I can still have one more vehicle, I'm okay for one more, but if we have 2, if it's motorcycle and car, I'm okay.
Yeah.
But if it's 2
Two
cars,
vehicles are
I'm
full.
gonna be stuck.
Isn't there room in back of the library, Mark?
But the problem is, there is, but that's not a secure area.
Oh.
And I have to have them behind a cyclone fence.
Oh.
But there's a lot of things that go into this, because I'm sure that what's gonna happen is the insurance companies are gonna want their people to take the second look at them now.
Sure.
And so at some point in time, they'll be contacting us, and they'll be ripping things apart on them. And it goes through the process of who's at fault and a settlement that's gonna take place. And this all takes a lot of time. I'm worried about the criminal aspect. Once the district attorney tells me to release the property, it's released.
Thank you, Mark. Administration, Karen?
Did you hear anything from Bill?
No, just that, like I said, he sent a message, 606, that said, there's a standoff in my neighborhood. I'm stuck inside my house. I can't leave. They won't let me go down the street. I'll be there as soon as I can.
He's a lawyer, get out.
Okay, Karen?
I don't.
Karen is daily getting letters and bulletins and whatnot. The election is like taking an inordinate amount of their time. Just
It is, and tomorrow, between 3 and 4, I had to pick up the flash drive stick from August 9th election, and with the new software and so forth, and with the modeming in all the results, Brown County had a problem because everybody was modeming in at the same time, so nobody could get through. It took us probably 45 minutes. It took the village of Ashwaubenon an hour and a half. Of course, they had more precincts with their machines to send in. But I picked up that flash stick this morning, and tomorrow, between 3 and 4, the county is gonna direct us. We'll hook up the machine and everything, and everybody's gonna try and load them in at the same time, or if they want us to do it again, and see how the phone lines pick everything up, because they're gearing towards the presidential election, which everybody won't be sending in results at the same time, but they were really concerned just to make sure that everything works. Absentee voting will be starting on Monday, September 26th. That's when we first can mail them out, and also in-house voting in the clerk's office can take place on that day also. So, mind you, the election is November 8th on the Tuesday. And one thing too that Reed and I talked about is the November board meeting. I would like it if we did not have the regular board meeting on Monday, November 7th, because Joel Van Lannen, he'll be coming in Monday morning already. We're going to be setting up stuff for the election, and Jim Van Lannen with hanging up all our signs in the booth, so we wouldn't be able to set that up until on the 7th and after the meeting. So when Reed and I talk, just think about it already now, but if we wanted to have the meeting like Tuesday, November 1st, or the 2nd on Wednesday, the 3rd we have court, so initial court appearances, and otherwise that rest of that week, like the 8th is the election, the 9th I'm going to Shawano in Green Bay. You could have it possibly on the 10th, and you're getting into like the 14th and the 15th already. So think about that, but I hope that you wouldn't decide to have it on Monday, November 7th, because that would be really hard.
Do we have budgeting? Did you say?
We're gonna have 2 budget call meetings
Sessions?
in October.
Oh, in October.
And you'll be having some in November also.
Yeah, so
I'm
we have
sure.
to take that into account.
Substantially completed with our budget no later than the middle of November.
Mark is here also, because we have the public hearing, that would be what, the first Monday in December. So then we'd be faxing all the results to the county treasurer's office on the Tuesday, following that first Tuesday in December. I know that they would like to get it in November, but there's no way when we're going through it, because I know some other municipalities are like that also.
Maybe to text the treasurer then?
We have been, Jody Shabilsky and myself, with going through, because ours wouldn't be until when we would have that board meeting with adopting the budget on the first Monday in December.
So I'll
When we
just
have our
tell
public hearing.
Paul that first week of December, you'll get Pulaski's budget. All right, I'll text him.
And then he's having a meeting on October 4th. He's having a meeting at the Neville Museum with all the clerks and the treasurers in the municipalities, so we'll find out more information then too, because I know the way the tax bill looks, there's changes to that also that's state mandated, so he's gonna go over all that stuff too.
And you got,
Lots of stuff coming up.
You want to give the money back to the taxpayers and put it on the tax bill, well, that would have cost like $3 million. It's a lot of dumb people.
He's been sending a lot of emails.
Oh my God. Yeah, all right, I'll send him that right now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we need to schedule a committee of the whole meeting for September, and trying to work with Brad Frank, because he's got our audit completed, and he'd like to do a presentation. He's available Tuesday, the 20th
September,
in September, or Thursday, the 22nd. And that'd
like
be-
at 5 o'clock.
That'd be for like 5 o'clock.
That wouldn't work for me, I know that's like.
Neither one of those days?
No, the 20th would, 20th is good, 22nd would for me.
How about everybody else?
20th works.
The 20th?
20th works for me.
Okay.
Awesome. So Brad Frank will probably open the meeting with the audit.
It'll be 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent the message, Karen. So.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Is it possible we could set the regular board meeting for November right away, or is that too early to do that?
You mean at the committee of the whole meeting, or now?
Or no, yeah. So you would,
I don't see why we couldn't do it now.
Okay. So what date are you thinking of?
first or second is both good?
And then there is court, Judge Bentley sitting
Yeah.
back there just listening.
Yeah, either first or second are fine with me.
How about you, Bob and Chris, with the Legion and stuff?
Legion is the 14th.
Okay. And that's when Reed and I were talking, then it's starting to get kind of late already.
Yeah. Well, November 1st?
For Tuesday?
That'd be fine.
All right.
6 o'clock?
Which one? The first?
First.
6 o'clock always, it seemed like that works out good, for me anyway.
Mhm.
6?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, there will be a planning and zoning commission meeting on Wednesday, the 21st, 2016 at 6 PM at the Pulaski Village Hall. And we need to schedule the time for the regular village board meeting on Monday, October 3rd. It would be 7:30 unless you have a desire to have it earlier.
6.
6 looks good.
6. Okay, that works. Thank you. And the Economic Development Ad Hoc Committee meeting will be Monday, October 17th, 2016 at 12 noon at Premier Community Day.
We still have item number 10 out there.
Yes. And
I didn't make copies for everybody, because when we had
Okay.
the special board meeting on August 22nd, we had that with the red, with the strikeouts and stuff like that. That was the draft copy, so.
Right. And we met since then and clarified a lot of things. And Bill was part of that meeting.
And Al.
Al was there, Jared, Robert Lee, and I. And it was just house cleaning and making things more understandable. There was not any substantial changes to what you had previously been
Is that
given.
the piece I had where you had red outlined and stuff? Okay.
And Bill did the final document, which I don't have any issues with.
And I did get it from Bill before I left Friday, and so I took it with me, and I don't have any issues at all. Because Bill and Brad were in agreement on everything, and so was Al and the village, so all the parties agreed to what was in the document. The figures have not changed, it's just that we made it more understandable that this is like a three distinct phases that are going to occur.
And then there was better definitions of what type of insurance that I'm supposed to have and prove to you guys. And so it was just tightening up everything. All the schedules stayed the same, the numbers stayed the same. And again, Bill did the final draft, and I went through it over the weekend.
And the village
Everything you
participation,
talked about, so.
the village participation is pretty much in this year and next year, financial wise. And you also clarified, those the sidewalks were in there. So we did change that, because we do want sidewalks in all of the new areas. And so, I mean, the document is done, and everybody's satisfied with it. And the hospice situation is taking over our...
I texted him, I asked him if he could do a conference call, and I have no response.
Okay.
He's busy holding off the cops.
So the only thing you have is CDA.
Yeah, we got the
Committee
CDA here that's ready.
He's available by phone right now,
Okay.
so we could do a speaker phone conversation with him.
All right. Do you have a speaker?
Yeah, I can dial them up.
Boy, what is really odd. That's crazy.
I was hoping for a short meeting.
Hi, Bill. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone, and we're in the middle of the board meeting, so just 1 minute, please.
You there? Yes. Hi, Bill. I hope that you don't mind this, but I needed you to tell the board that you're satisfied with the developer's agreement with Mountain Bay Development.
Okay. I sent out a draft last week based on the discussion we had at that meeting, and I haven't heard back whether they had any revisions or changes to the draft that I sent out. The biggest change that I added based on that meeting was the provision about the excess fund. You might recall we talked about that at the meeting.
Yes.
I believe the village's commitment, I don't have the total here in front of me, but it was roughly $2 million, I believe, in total, and 585,000 of that was dedicated to some of the street improvements, and then the balance were some other improvements. And the excess, if for some reason or other the estimate came in below the 585 for actual construction, the difference, if any, would go back to the developer. So the total amount of the village's commitment would always stay the same. Wouldn't go up, but it wouldn't go down either.
Right.
That's the biggest change that was that came out of that meeting that I saw. But so that's in the revised draft. I think they have a copy of that. It's got the highlighted version or highlighted changes to it. And again, that went out, I believe, on Thursday or Friday of last week. And as of about 4:30 this afternoon, I hadn't gotten anything back that anybody had any issues with those changes.
Al Moran is here in the crowd, and he has no problems with the revisions that you made.
Okay. Then we should be good to go unless the board has any additional questions.
Okay. Are you still hostage?
Somewhat, yeah. There are two police cars just up the street from me blocking off the road, so I can't go to the right, which would be away from the hostage situation, and obviously can't go to the left coming out of my house, out of my driveway, because that's where the hostage situation is, about 3 or 4 doors down from me. So.
You know, Pulaski's a much safer place to live.
I'm sure you don't have any sniper guys on the roof of any houses near you. 2 doors down from me, there's a sniper on the roof that I can see.
Okay.
Oh, my.
Get in the basement.
Do you think that we should adjourn this without a vote, or should we vote to accept the revisions for the developer's agreement?
If you follow the same format as the last resolution that approved this, it was an approval subject to the ability of essentially Karen and yourself to approve any final revisions to it. So technically, we've already approved this, and that resolution that we adopted a couple of months ago when we approved this gave the authority to approve any changes. And again, there were no changes that were substantially significant to change anything other than this funding issue, and that really isn't that big of a change either.
Right.
Because it was already in the document.
Okay, so we can go on to finalize the text district increment development agreement?
Yes, and the same thing for the CT CTA.
Okay.
You know, from what Al is saying, if there's no changes to it, again, based on the draft that I did, I don't have any issue with any of the changes that I made.
And I got an email from Brad that he signed off on it as well.
Okay, then we should be fine to go ahead with it.
Okay,
And I'll get a clean copy out to everybody tomorrow morning.
okay, thank you, Bill.
Well, do we still have to hold this meeting now, but
Yes.
CDA without him?
Yes, the CTA will still have to need to approve it as well.
Right, the CDA hasn't approved it yet, that's why they, okay. Thank you, Bill, and we appreciate it.
All right?
Stay safe.
Be safe.
I'll be back here.
Stay safe.
Good night. We'll watch 10 o'clock news.
Thank you.
Now we're going to go back to item number 10. And Bill pretty much said that we've already approved it. And the changes don't substantially alter the document. So the last vote is all was necessary. But now the CDA does need to have the meeting and adopt the developer's agreement and agree to move forward with the bonding process. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:21.
Do we need to make this motion though?
Yeah.
Motion? I'll make a motion to finalize
Yeah, the
the tax increment district development
I
agreement.
thought you took me around the circle there.
I'll make that motion to
We'll
finalize.
do that just in case.
I'll second it.
Motion by Doug, second by Bruce.
Do you want roll call?
Probably before talking anything.
Okay. Bruce Birchkowski?
Yes.
Roger Birchkowski?
Yes.
Robert Gieske?
Yes.
Doug Prentice?
Yes.
Chris Smith?
Yes.
Robert Van Lanner? And Ray Woodward.
Yes. Now we can adjourn at 7:22 PM.
So moved.
By Roger, second by Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you all.